Aquino is calling for the Filipinos' bayanihan spirit in typhoon-devastated areas in Mindanao. The president issued the appeal even as government agencies concerned continue to race against time in the search for those still missing and in giving relief assistance to homeless victims. Rocky Ignacio with added details.
President Aquino urges volunteerism among Filipinos to extend assistance to the victims of Super Typhoon Pablo. Speaking before the 15th Philippine Quality Awards, the president encouraged the public to cooperate amidst the challenges the country is facing due to Pablo. President Aquino said the government works double time to help stricken communities back to normalcy.
At this very moment, workers from every agency of government that can help are working overtime in the hardest hit areas. This is a time when each of us has a moral obligation as fellow human beings to join in and display the compassion, the charity, and the bayanihan inherent in every Filipino.
The president admits that he was shocked to see the extent of damages brought by Pablo in Davao Oriental and Compostela Valley. He said the government intends to upgrade disaster preparedness by improving coordination with local government units. President Aquino one of the affected areas had not been visited by a typhoon as strong as Pablo since 1912.
I personally saw the extent of the damage. When we visited the towns of New Bataan and Boston in Compostela Valley and Davao Oriental, I have to say, they really look like battlefields. And just to put things into perspective of how unexpected the typhoon was for the entire region, there was a particular area that had not been visited. May I repeat that they had not been visited by a typhoon as strong as Pablo since 1912, an entire century ago. All the best preparations still leave challenges after the battle. The wounded, the destruction, the repair, and of course, the rebuilding. Looking forward, we will improve our synergy with local government and we will guide them through the processes they have to go through to further minimize casualties in the future. Now, one of the strongest challenges now is for those communities that do not have in their living memory instances of how severe these disturbances can be. The lack of drive or generating the drive to really prepare to the utmost readily apparent. It must strike them as not being real or too much preparation for too little occurrences. That has to change.
President Aquino also asked the assistance of private sector to help the government in its relief and rehabilitation of disaster-affected areas.
Today, I ask you, if you can extend any amount of help to those who have been affected, it would mean so much more. It is about more than money. It is about more than sharing resources. It is about showing the Filipino people that they are not alone during this time of great pain, that their countrymen, their government, and even the companies that operate here have their back. Recently, our administration has also appealed to private companies, individuals, to lend, if they do have them, helicopters or even trucks that can be utilized in the region so that we can fully meet our transportation needs. So if any of you here use choppers in your company operations, or if you know anyone willing to lend theirs, may I ask of you, would you be willing to lend a helping hand? And we guarantee you, you will have a grateful Philippine people and nation.
The search, relief, and rescue operations continues in the area. The government does not lose hope that reported missing persons are still alive.
But realistically, sir, are we still confident that we will find some survivors?
Yes, based from our experiences, there are still fishermen that are alive. We got a fisherman from Camarines Sur last time. And it took them 21 days to be recovered in the Babuyan Islands, north of the northern Philippines. 21 days alive.
Search and Rescue Task Force Chief Lieutenant General George Segovia said that the government is doing its best to extend relief assistance to isolated areas. President Aquino designated Segovia to ensure that all missing persons during typhoon are accounted for.
At the end of the rescue effort, we are continuing to do our best to try to find survivors in this disaster. The relief operations will continue for a long time, and from what I saw, the rehabilitation effort will take a much longer time.
Meanwhile, Secretary Almendras asked for volunteer doctors to assist the government in the affected areas. He said President Aquino wants preparedness and not just a quick response during calamities.
Ulitin ko po, hindi tapos ang problema. Napakalaki po ng problema. people were talking about Secretary Dinky breaking down during her visit. Yes, if you ever went there, you will also shed tears. I know that because I was equally as emotionally affected. What we need to do po is work together. Government will do its share, but we need everyone's help as well. We have resources, but it's not a question of resources. It's a question of hands and feet that will help bring these goods to where they're most needed. It's a question of people, doctors. We've been making appeal for doctors, and we're very grateful. Hospital groups have volunteered on their own.
For the People's Television, Rocky Ignacio.